So used to seeing Drew Hart over there. White shirt.
Good evening. Welcome to the Charter Township of Brownstown meeting for December 2nd, 2024. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Brinker, if you would do the roll call.
Supervisor Breeze,
Here.
Clerk Brinker here, Treasurer Ebert,
Here.
Trustee Allen,
Here.
Trustee Chapman,
Here.
Trustee Jones,
Here.
Trustee Killian.
Here.
In front of you, you have the regular work session minutes of November 18th. I would need a motion to,
Motion to approve. Support.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
The next one is the board minutes from November 18th.
Motion to approve the board minutes from November 18th.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Abstain.
Opposed? Motion has it. In front of you should be your agenda for tonight. And if it's okay with all of you, we need a motion to approve
Motion
it.
to approve.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Yeah. Sorry. At this time, we would have a public hearing. It is in regarding the 2025 proposal Charter Township of Brownstown budget.
I make a motion for the public hearing.
Support?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to discuss the budget? You have 3 minutes to do so. I might give you a little bit longer. No one? Well, we're doing something right. Make a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Through the chair, who supported that? Was that Chapman or Jones?
Jones. Give it to
Jones, okay, to Jones.
The next issue is public forum. Is anyone in the audience would like to address the township board? You may do so, and you have 3 minutes per person. Yes, sir.
I should do it at this time or wait till it comes down on the agenda for Carter's Road.
Oh,
I just don't want to miss the opportunity now.
yeah,
I can wait. That's fine.
okay. Why don't you wait?
Very well.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. The first thing on the agenda is the first reading of ordinance 282-1, an ordinance to establish Brownstown Township 319, I apologize. Ordinance 319 to establish Brownstown Township's official compensation commission, providing for severability and effective date. May I have a motion?
Motion to the first reading of the ordinance 319.
Support.
Can you call the roll?
Chapman,
Yes.
Brinker, yes. Allen,
Yes.
Ebert,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Breeze.
Yes. Next, we have Resolution 2024-19. This is for the General and Special Appropriations Act to adopt the budget for 2025.
So
Ma'am.
moved.
Allen,
Support.
by Chapman. All those in favor signify by, oh, thank you. Any discussion? Yeah. I got that. Roll call vote?
Killian,
Yes.
Hebert,
Yes.
Brinker, yes. Allen,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Burries.
Yes. The next resolution is Resolution 2024-20. This is to exempt from requirements of PA 152 of 2011 for 2025. May I have a motion?
Motion to, of the resolution exempt from the PA 152 of 2011 for 2025.
Support.
Any discussion?
To the chair. I just, once again, like to thank the union leadership and union members. This is, the public probably doesn't know, it has to do with retiree health insurance and the hard work and that they did. This is a complex, difficult issue that I know Ms. Burries, Supervisor Burries and I, 16 years ago, we tried to solve this issue, and it took 16 years because it is very complex. And the solution they came up with Mr. Peters' help is a good one. And I'm proud to say that before the next term ends, that our retiree health insurance will be one of the very few communities that will have it well on a way of being funded. And that's a big deal. I would have bet against it. Sadly, even though I was working on it, I would have bet against it because it is difficult and it took a lot. It's hard to understand. It really is. And for the membership to understand, the union leadership to understand it and explain it, good job to everyone. So this is good news. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote?
Brinker, yes. Jones,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Hebert,
Yes.
Burries.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the 2024 Board of Review appointments and reappointments.
Motion to
To-
approve the appointments and reappointments.
Support.
Discussion? Everyone in our, those who support? Yes or no?
Aye.
Support?
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I messed that one. Don't tell them.
It's all right.
Thank you.
You're getting there. You're getting
You're
there.
fine.
Sound like Canadians.
Next, we'll go to the
We-
supervisor's report. It is to appoint James Wallace to Planning Commission to fill the vacancy with term to expire December 21st, 2025.
Motion to appoint James Wallace to the Planning Commission.
Support.
Any discussion?
Was that Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Yes,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Jones. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. He's in the audience. He can wave. Thanks, Jim. Second on the report is Human Resources. It would be the authorization to hire one full-time laborer in DPW, William Stogstill. May I have a
Motion to approve?
Support.
all those in favor? Oh, no, discussion.
Well, who's
Was it-
supported that?
Was it Mr. Killian?
Their voices sound.
I know. I have to, just for the minutes.
Is that all the discussion we need? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 3 is from Human Resources again. It is letters of agreement to support the employee appreciation event that was closure for the township building for the employee Christmas party.
Motion.
And every union has signed it.
Support.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to request to waiver formal bidding process and approve to contract with NDS for specialty physicals for the fire department personnel.
Motion to approve the waiving of the bidding process.
Support.
Discussion.
Is that-
Are
is that-
are you,
is it
are you
support
discussing?
for discussion?
Someone else said.
No, no,
support.
no, no.
Mm-mm.
Mr. Chapman made the motion. I need a
Support.
support. Okay,
Thank
thank you.
Congratulations to our new chief on coming out, dropping the ball fast, getting these things that your department is going to need in the future. And I thank you for that.
Through the chair. Chief, is this similar to the last price we had? We're doing a no bid. I don't know what it was before, but is it in line?
We've really never had physicals. We only do physicals for new hires or people who are coming back from medicals. So this is something that we're starting that's brand new, basically.
Okay, and is this the entire physical or just a portion of it?
It's the entire physical,
Okay.
blood work, ultrasound, CAT scan. It's all included, and they bring it to the fire station.
And we'll be doing this regular with all employees?
Yeah, we're gonna start, depending on the testing, annually or biannually.
Okay.
Things
Thank
like the CAT scan are 2 years, ultrasounds every year. So we're gonna start
So
doing that.
some things won't be because they're not
Yes.
necessary.
Yeah, so next year it'll actually be a little cheaper and then a little
Got
back
it.
and forth.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under the clerk's report, we have board information,
Motion to read and file?
Support.
discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next report is the treasurer's. Disbursements from December 2nd, 2024, $1,404,525.37. Motion to
Motion
approve.
to approve the disbursement.
Support.
Roll call. Oh, discussion. Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Hebert,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Brinker, yes, Baries.
Yes. Can we have a motion for board information under the treasurer's office?
So move.
Support.
Discussion?
To the supervisor. So this did need board approval, but I wanted to let the board know on board information. Flagstar Bank is our banking financial entity, and my deputy treasurer on a regular basis speaks with their representative, in this case, Yvonne Jordan, who's the vice president of government banking. So what we're doing with what we've already done is now our funds, we have millions of dollars of funds, and years ago we didn't. We had that rainy day fund I referred to that was zero. Now it's $9-10 million. We have the pension funds. There's funds that are in Flagstar. What will happen at the close of business every day is we'll be using what's called sweep accounts. All the money will be swept into different financial institutions. This is seamless. It happens, nobody's actually doing this. It's electronically. And it'll be swept in, and then in a start of business, swept back into our accounts. Now, that won't change our account numbers. It won't change availability of funds when checks are presented. None of that. It'll be seamless on our end. But here's what it does do. A couple things. We earn about $40,000 a month in interest. With this account, we'll earn, that's about $500,000 a year. I think last year was $480,000. If we would have applied a sweep account to last year's average balance fund and the current interest rates, we would have earned $1 million more a year. So if we use interest rates, they're coming down, but if we use the rates right now, that's $1 million more in income just by using this account. The other thing is, we have federally insured deposits of $250,000. Well, as a government entity, our funds are always going to be about 250, and you need liquidity. We need our funds to do things. And so not all of our funds are insured because it's impossible. And that's just not us. It's a lot of other places. We could have bought US bonds and notes, but then you don't have liquidity, you're stuck. So this will, when we're transferring these funds, they will be 100% insured during the transfers. And keep in mind, if any of these entities, if something were to happen, the federal government insures that amount, 250 per entity. Within 48 hours, you get those funds back. So if you could imagine that these are all top insured financial institutes, but if one of them went under, within 48 hours, those funds would be deposited in our account. So it's a good way. I appreciate Cindy, the deputy treasurer. She has regular contact with Flagstar, and they have an annual review. And they brought this to my attention, and I spoke with our prior supervisor, Mr. Peters, because it's $25,000 a week. So we already signed up for this a couple weeks ago. Once we cross the T's and dot the I's, we signed up. And then the only thing on our end is we'll have another reconciliation, another statement, because every day you're taking funds out and putting in, so monthly statements that will have to be reconciled. And I spoke with our accountant about that, but she agreed with me for $1 million. Her department's willing to take on that. So I wanted to explain that it's not it doesn't have to be approved, but it'll help our budget.
To the chair, and is this a standard fee that will apply every month? Does that fee increase?
It's a standard fee, which is a lot less than the
I mean, it's
money
a
we'll be
great.
earning. Yes.
I looked at this and it's really a good deal.
What could go wrong, just not now, but they could one day, Flagstar, I suppose, could come back and say, we're going to charge a percentage of, right? They could come back and do that, but that would be with notice. They have no plans, nothing in the works of doing anything like that. But I did ask, what are the negatives? This satisfies Public Act 20, I think it is. And it also, there's a number of communities already doing this downriver in school districts. So we're not the first, we're up there, but not quite the first.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more discussion? Thank you, Mr. Cooper. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the Community Services Department. First agenda item is the special land use fueling station expansion 27000 Fort Street. If I could have a motion on the,
Motion to approve this special land use for the fueling station on Fort Street.
Support.
discussion?
Through the chair. I know there's been some concern about this, and I, for one, I don't like this idea. I don't like the plans that were submitted to us. But the information provided to us through our planner and through the Planning Commission has shown that they have met all the standards for the SLU requirements. I've spoken to council, and in voting to accept the Planning Commission's recommendation, there is no legal basis to deny it. So I just wanted to say that, so I must follow the law and vote in the affirmative, but just for the record, I'm not, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that we're drawing more trucks to that area. I don't think Vreeland Road is going to be able to handle all the truck traffic there. I think that I have a concern about another business, a local business, the competition being right there a block away, but without a legal basis to deny it. I have no other choice but to vote in the affirmative.
Further discussion?
Yeah, and I agree with Clerk Brinker. We've had this before. I think the last time was with billboards. And the same thing, we were told that you can vote no, but if they elect to sue, we'd lose. There was no wiggle room on this. Part of the solution, I think, is keep working on the master plan, and which changes what kind of businesses on what property. I know we're doing that, but that takes a little time. So that's what led some of these issues that came up that we don't like, but you have to follow the rules, led to us saying, let's relook at it. So it makes sense, but we're stuck with what we've got right now.
Through the chair. Well, I know we have some issues in Brownstown with trucks and truck parking, and this was just one of those things that we're attracting them, and then, for complaints down the road, but legally we don't have a basis to deny it. So I know that there were some people that had inquired about that, and could the board just deny it? And legally we don't have a basis to deny it.
Anyone else with discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the special land use car wash 27000 Fort Street.
Motion to approve the special land use car wash on 27000 Port Street.
Support.
Discussion on this item? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, the landmark tree removal for 27000 Fort Street. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve the landmark tree removal 27000 Fort Street.
Support?
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item, site plan approval for 27000 Fort Street.
Motion for the site plan approval for 2700 Fort Street.
Support.
Discussion?
Through the chair. I just want to confirm that the site plan is eliminating truck parking. Is there someone here from the planning commission that could confirm that?
Yes, it is.
So we're eliminating truck parking.
Yes.
So there's going to be no overnight truck parking there.
That's what the gentleman told us at the last meeting.
Okay.
If you'd like to get him up and speak, he could reconfirm that with
Yeah,
us.
I just want to make sure
Yes.
we're just, I
They
don't,
took that out of the plan.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
But we, to the chair, so we know that with certainty, not what they said. Mr. Peters, do you know what the answer is?
Yes, there we go. The updated plans that were submitted remove the prior submitted truck parking spots, and it's just a through fueling pumps for where the truck traffic would be going.
Thank you.
So we could amend the motion to approve it with a special condition.
I support that.
Support. We're good.
Through the chair, just for the minutes, you want to amend the motion to approve with the,
No truck parking.
Special condition. of no
Special condition of no
truck
truck parking.
parking. I know it sounds redundant, but let's just be sure that
No,
it's-
That's fine.
right.
we have it covered.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5 is the special land use for 23500 Carter Road.
I'd like to make a motion, send it back to the planning commission for further clarification.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Site plan approval, 23500 Carter Road. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve that, send that back to the planning commission for further consideration.
Support.
Motion to send it back to Planning Commission. Any discussion? Oh, right. Is the gentleman here who, it's all right? Okay. Got everything? Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion? I didn't mean to overlook you. I'm sorry. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Recreation, no report submitted. Public Works, no report submitted. And I'm going to go before Township Manager. I would just like to do a couple shout outs, if I may. With our police department, the chief was kind enough to send us a couple updates, which I think we're all very proud of. Sergeant Morrison solved a 10-year crime.
It was a John Doe case, remains that were recovered in Brownstown in a wooded area near Weston Inkster. Happened in 2014. And we resolved this and were able to identify that 1 day short of a decade after the person was located.
Terrible. The next thing I'd like to do is recognize Officer or Lieutenant Topshin. We were informed that he has met with MDOT and they have agreed to come out and review the Dix 75, Sibley, all that big, huge area for accidents. So I think we've been trying to do that for a while, and Lieutenant Topshin was successful.
Correct, and those that have been in the township for quite a while will remember the old style there was, they completely redesigned that, tore out the overpass and put in a completely new intersection. And unfortunately, their efforts to improve it actually caused that to be one of our most frequent crash sites in the township. So they're minor crashes, but there's a lot of crashes there. And we've been, over the years, trying to reach out to MDOT to see what they could do to help us out there. And Lieutenant Topshin has, through his connections, he applies for our traffic safety grants, so he's made some connections there and was able to finally get an engineer from MDOT to come out, look at the intersection with them, and they're going to do some short-term improvements, cut some vegetation, restripe it to make it a little bit easier to see where everybody's supposed to be. But the good news is they're also going to be doing a traffic study there to see about the possibility of putting in some traffic control devices, possibly a signal that could assist with those crashes. As you're exiting I-75, it's very difficult to see Dix Toledo traffic coming over the overpass. And I know a good deal of our residents use that intersection every day, coming and going. And I go through there all the time, and it's scary for me. So I thought that was an accomplishment just to be able to get them to come out and to look at it. So
Do you have any idea, Chief, how long that might take and when you might have some answers?
it could take a couple of years from what the lieutenant's telling me, but the good news is they can study it and get it on the books. Eventually, they can get some better results. Let's hope the short-term fixes can
Right.
help a little bit there, but it's one of the areas we've been focusing traffic enforcement at.
Right.
But it's just the design of that. Typically, they're minor rear-end accidents when people start to pull out from the entrance or the exit ramp onto Dix Toledo, and then they see traffic coming and they stop abruptly, and the car behind them is looking to see, and they run into the back of them. It's almost a daily occurrence there. So
Right.
we're trying to resolve that and make that a better intersection for our residents.
Thank you. And finally, we have a shout out for Lieutenant Wheeler. His community support unit successfully completed, is it their first pay period of doing the community service?
This is a directed patrol project he's working on. We have a couple of members that are participating in the community's service unit, but this is his directed patrol with his platoon. So these are day and night shift officers, just taking that same concept of focusing our attention on problem spots in the community and addressing the various needs that we have. We're lucky that we have a very diverse resources throughout the police department, some good traffic officers, motor carrier trained officers, and just focusing those attentions to try to address the specific issues, whether they're school bus complaints or, the overweight trucks, whatever we might do. But he's been reporting like that. I have another report that he sent me this morning. I'll be forwarding that one to you guys very soon, so you can follow along what we're doing.
Do you want to tell us real quick?
It's a long one, and I don't.
Okay, well then forget it, Chief. We've been moving along real well.
So in reading that report, one of his directed patrols, one of the directed patrols was Election Day. And again, I just wanted to show my appreciation and say thank you to all the police officers in our department for their constant contact with our office and with our election workers and for making everybody feel safe. We only needed to call you guys one time. We had one incident, which was very minor, but you guys were right there immediately. So we really appreciate it.
It was our pleasure.
Township manager.
Good evening. First of all, I wanted to, I guess, formally welcome the new board, the new term of our township board. This being the first board meeting of our new township board. So congratulations on your success in the election. I'm looking forward to working with all of you in the new term in the new year here. So I wanted to formally say that. Couple quick things. One, we've had a concerted effort over the last few years to try to work with our staff in our DPW to incentivize staff to get their water certifications. It's important to make sure our employees are trained and just to show our focus on the importance of maintaining and operating our water system. And I wanted to just provide another update. I know I've done this in the past. We had the latest round of testing that just completed, and Rich Horteski earned his S3 water certification, which, just as a reminder, there's 4 levels. 4 is your lowest and S1 is the highest. Rich Horteski earned his S3, and Roxy Fairchild and George Burns both earned their S1, which is a big accomplishment. Something having an S1 is required for us to operate our water system. So years ago, we didn't really have the best backup plans for what we would do if we lost certain individuals. Right now, we have, I think, 4 people with S1 licenses at the township, which is great. So congratulations to them and appreciate their hard work and their knowledge of our system, and hopefully we can continue to reap the benefits from that and our residents as well. Lastly, I want to provide an update on our master plan. So this has been going on for a long time, as this board knows, taking on the master plan and doing a rewrite is a huge endeavor. We've had so many opportunities for public input, and just the amount of time it takes to compile all that and put that into words, to put the ideas onto maps and renderings. We're now at a point now where I just received, prior to this meeting, a draft of the entire plan. We will have one final meeting of our advisory committee that's been meeting just to review the few sections that we have not previously gone over, as well as take a look at the new renderings on maps and things like that. The plan is, and again, these are all tentative plans based on hitting all these. The plan is to have our advisory committee review this plan this week and for it to be on the Planning Commission's agenda on December 9th. So just to remind everyone the process, there's no quick way of approving a master plan. This will take a little bit to approve, but on the December 9th meeting, the Planning Commission will have the opportunity to review the draft, and their action would be to recommend to the Township Board that it be distributed. There's a requirement on distributing this plan to neighboring communities and a number of other entities for a public comment period prior to approving. So on December 9th, the Planning Commission will have the opportunity to make that recommendation, which would then provide the Township Board at our December 16th meeting the opportunity to formally approve distributing the plan. That would start, once the plan is all sent out, would start a 60-day review period, which is required under the law. We would then be looking at, in the new year, January or February, setting up a public open house during the comment period, where we could set up stations with renderings of our maps so that all of these meetings that we've had with different interest groups, with different sections of the township, people will be able to come in and see that their comments were incorporated into the plan, to ask questions about changes that were made, and to go through all of that. Once that's complete, once that review period is complete, we'll be in the month of February. And at that point, depending on the timing, we'd be looking at the Planning Commission formally approving the plan. and which we could then send to the township board for the township board's approval. So I think we're about to start, really kind of the end process for this entire large process that has taken a long time for us to get to. And I would anticipate, um, as long as we don't have anything that holds us up, would anticipate that we would be able to get this plan approved in March. And with that, part of the plan is implementation. It would give us our marching orders for what we can do with all of this input, with all of the updates in that plan, what we can do next to ensure that those things are happening in our community. So I said a lot there. It'll still be a big process, but that's where we're at, and looking forward to kind of getting the beginning of the end here for our master plan process. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Before we go into closed session, I would like to recognize someone in the audience. Few of you might not know who he is. I wanted to introduce Kurt Bowler. He's a former elected official here, a couple years treasurer, and the rest supervisor. And he has a birthday coming up, and he will be 85. I just said it, Kurt. And we brought those cookies for you for your birthday. But no, we appreciate it. You're great. Finally, we will go into closed session for pursuant to MCL 15.2681C to consider collective bargaining negotiations upon update for the TPOAM Administrative Union.
Motion to go into closed session.
Support?
Support.
All those in favor signify.
Roll call.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Roll call.
Killian,
Yes.
Hebert,
Yes.
Brinker, yes. Allen,
Yep.
Jones,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Baries.
Yes.
people on that side's fault.
Okay, at this time, I would like a motion to come out of closed session, please.
Motion to come out of closed session?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn?
Support.
Oh, we do?
Oh.
Oh, all right.
I do.
Mm.
Just to let everyone know, the township offices will be closed on Monday, December 23rd through Wednesday, December 25th, in observation of the Christmas holiday.
And through the chair, we forgot to remind people of the tree lighting this Thursday at 6 PM. Right, so it's always a lot of fun,
6 to 8.
6 to 8. And we hear the Grinch might be making another
Right.
go around.
All right, we have motion and a support for adjournment.
Who was, the motion was Dave and who was the?
The whole board.
There's a word
Get
for
the
that. I
board.
can never remember what it is.
Anyone.
Yeah. Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good night.